Hello everyone, this is Pash from Soul and Therapy by Pash. And as if you remember on my Monday read, I declared that I will be doing a read which is planted in my head and which is related to narcissism. And I have been waiting for long to create the material for this PPT, but unfortunately I couldn't get the time. Sometimes I was traveling, some days I was too busy to do this. But this time I thought it's high time that if it has come to my mind again. So I'll tell you how it came to my mind again. Actually, I dreamt of something related to narcissism. So I don't know, when I woke up in the morning, I found myself that I had an idea about narcissism, and someone needs to hear this. I think someone needs to really hear about this and really need to understand. So that's what I felt, and that's why I'm here today. So I completed this PPT yesterday night and a bit today evening, and I'm doing this video recording at 11 in the night because whole day I was busy with my work. As you all know that I work also, so I was busy with my work and I was busy with my daughter. She has exams also. So yeah, now I got the time when everyone is sleeping, and I believe that this is the time when I can speak through my heart what I'm feeling. So let's start on this topic. This is a very, as I discussed earlier also, narcissism is a very serious topic. It's a very critical topic to discuss, and usually people don't know that if they are dealing with a narcissist, or if they are in partnership with a narcissist, or if they have been a parenting which is of a narcissist, or they themselves are narcissist. So you cannot say that you are narcissist to anyone who has narcissistic tendencies. So it's very difficult to deal with these kind of people. And if you ask me, as far as I remember, right from my childhood till today, after creating this PPT and while I was creating this PPT and material, I understand that I have came across a lot of narcissists in my life, but I never understood that why they are behaving in such weird way. I always thought that there is something issue with me, or I encounter these kind of people. Of course, I always say when you are unhealed, you encounter unhealed people. Most of the times, when you are healed, you encounter more high vibrational and healed people. So let's start this topic. Okay, I'll show you. I have created this PPT. It's in my laptop, but unfortunately I won't be able to show you. I have jotted down all the important points, maximum which I feel I can cover. I will see if I could cover it in a 40 minutes video. Otherwise I'll create part 1, part 2. It's a must watch for everyone, because you never know in which way, in which form, in which phase of your life you are dealing with a narcissist, or you have dealt with a narcissist. And this is a topic which we usually don't discuss. We usually don't discuss with anyone. Even if we are facing a lot of problems, we consider them as a common problem, right? So let's start without wasting any more time. And this is a peaceful, calm night. I cannot hear a single sound, so it's a perfect time to discuss this topic. I always believe this is the right time to speak your heart. Okay, so let's start. So I'll be just taking some points and discussing, and I'll be incorporating my experiences also, my own personal experiences, what I feel about it, how spirituality connects to it, and how it affects in our general life and daily lives also, right? So it's a bit dark, so I hope it would be okay with all of you, those who are watching me. Okay, so first of all, what is narcissism? We might have heard about narcissist partners, narcissist parents, narcissist people. Who are they? Narcissist personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have a reasonably high sense of their own importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. So this is basically a medical health condition. Before starting this topic, I want to say a couple of things. First, in no shape, in no way, shape or form, I am trying to say that someone is a narcissist or narcissism is bad, or it's a mental health condition. If you are encountering with a narcissist, leave them or immediately uh, step back or step out of this kind of relationship. No, the purpose of this video I'm creating here is to understand if you are dealing with a narcissist, and if in case you are, then there are different ways where you can get help, where you can deal with them. So until you know the problem, until you accept the problem, you won't be able to solve it. I always say that. So this video will help you to understand what are the signs, symptoms of a narcissistic parent, narcissistic tendencies, and in no way, shape or form I'm saying that narcissist, if someone is a narcissist, they are bad. No. Nobody is bad. It's only that we need to understand where it's coming from, what is the signs and synchronicities that are happening, and how we need to heal this, and how we need to deal with this, right? So please, the only and the sole purpose of this video is to heal or to help people who are stuck in these kind of relationships, or who are stuck themselves and they are not aware of it. They don't know why they are behaving in such a weird way. So this will help you out to analyze yourself. So my all videos, most of the videos, be it in a childhood healing or be it self-love, I always say it's a self-analytical videos. You can self-analyze. No need to tell me, no need to tell anybody else about it. You can self-analyze yourself where you stand with this. And this will help you in many ways, in many streams of your life. In fact, all streams of your life, in a positive way. So take it positively. Okay? So narcissist is basically a personality disorder, and it's a mental health condition, we say. And I always say, if you have such mental health condition, you should always refer to a doctor, because we are not doctors. We are here to understand the spiritual meaning of this and how we can help you out to heal. So these kind of people, they are unreasonably, they have high sense of their importance. They need and seek too much attention. They want people to admire them all the time. They are very self-centered. They are very arrogant. They have a lack of empathy, and they don't think about others. They always need validation from outside. They need admiration. So it's not that I'm saying that if someone is arrogant or someone is self-centered or self-focused, they are narcissists. No. There are many ways. Moving ahead in this video, we'll understand where you can analyze that the person you are dealing with is a narcissist or not. Right? Sorry. Usually people with narcissism or narcissistic traits, we call them cocky, we call them manipulative, we call them selfish, we call them very demanding also. People with this disorder, basically they lack ability to understand, and they don't care about the feelings of others. They on the surface look very confident, but behind this mask, they are not sure of their own self-worth. They are very insecure, and they get very easily by any sort of criticism. They don't like to hear criticism. In fact, nobody likes to hear the criticism, but self-criticism make them really upset. Now again, not every narcissist is a disorder. Some are narcissist with a mental disorder, or some are just carrying some narcissistic traits which they adopt from their environment. So there are two types of narcissists. We'll discuss in further in this video. So people who are carrying narcissistic traits which behave like narcissist but they are not narcissist, which have few conditions matching to the narcissist. And one, those who are narcissist purely and have a mental disorder. People who are at the highest end of the spectrum are those that are classified as narcissist or NPD, that is narcissist personality disorder. So it's a kind of a personality disorder. So people who are on very high spectrum of this, they are called as narcissist or struggling with some sort of personality disorder. There are some people with that, as I told you, there are some people with are only with narcissistic traits. So they are on the lower side. They don't have all the symptoms or signs. It causes Narcissism actually causes a lot of problems in all the areas of life, be it relationships, love, be it finances, be it work, school, financial matters, whatever it is. Usually, people with narcissistic traits or who are suffering from this disorder are extremely resistant to changing their behaviors. They're very stubborn. They don't change their behaviors, they don't like to change their behaviors. They always have a tendency to blame others for whatever they do. And even at slightest criticism, you'll find them reacting in a very big way, right? This what I have written, I have felt this also with my own personal experience, that people who show some signs of narcissism are very charming and charismatic, They are very confident, very charming, very confident, charismatic. They don't show negative behavior right away to you. They will be very sweet on your face. They'll be very confident. You can't find any insecurities or anything like that in them at the first instance, especially in relationships when you're dealing with them. People who show narcissism always feed their ego. They build relationships that are superficial and that feeds their ego, that boost up their ego. The cause of narcissism can be anything. It can be your environment where you have been, your upbringing is done. It can be genetics, or it can be neurobiology where your mind and your behaviors are not matching. So basically, when I talk about narcissism, there is a very common thing which I say, that their actions don't match their words. If they are doing any promises to you, if they are committing to you, if they are doing anything like this to you, they are not going to take an action on it. They don't have the courage. And it's a kind of a personality disorder. I'm not saying that it is treatable, it is manageable if you know that you are suffering from it. Again, any sort of disease, any sort of problem, any sort of issue in our life, until unless we know we are suffering from it, we are having it, and we accept it, we will not be able to solve it. So that's the purpose of this video. So I hope until now you understand what is narcissism. So they are basically very charismatic people, very charming people, very confident people, full of insecurities. They can't take criticisms very positively. They have a high sense of their own importance. They always talk, they brag, basically what we say. They are very self-centered. We always call them cocky, manipulative. You find them in that behavior. So that you will not find in the very first instance. Slowly they will uncover these traits and you will understand this. Moving to the next topic, what are the types of narcissism? There are two types of narcissism that comes from your childhood experience. In fact, to my surprise, when I was creating this material, I was surprised. In fact, I was thinking that most of our traumas, most of our issues are coming from our childhood. That's why I've created Healing Your Inner Childhood Wounds, childhood traumas. This is also trauma or a personality disorder or trait which maximum times comes from your childhood. So first type of narcissism is grandiose. So grandiose are the people who basically treat themselves as superior. They brag about them. Oh my God, I'm so great. I do this so great. They are humble also. You'll find them humble on the face. But usually they like when you brag about them, or when you tell them that they are great, they are doing great, when people respect them. But usually they are very aggressive, dominant, and they exaggerate their importance. And they are very confident. Second type are vulnerable narcissism. This behavior is usually a result of childhood neglect and abuse. So there, see the variation. There are two types of narcissist that we are creating. Not we are creating, it's created in the universe. One is who thinks highly of themselves because during their childhood, their parents, their surrounding people might have told them that they are great, they are superior, they are doing great in their life, they are doing great in their marks and scores in their exams, in their school, in their college, in their degree. So they got a high expectation of themselves, and they think that they are super cool. Just let me move the lamp here. So they think they're super cool. Nobody can compete with them. They're perfect. So that sort of narcissism. Second sort of narcissism, where in your childhood you have been neglected, you have been abused. Nobody has treated you well. You always felt inadequate. You feel anxious because nobody treated you like a special kid. So there are two types of narcissism. One who has been treated very special way in their childhood, and one who is not treated and treated poorly or neglected or abused in their childhood. So these are the two types of narcissists that we usually deal with in our lifetimes. See, I'm not saying that you will come across a narcissist, but in some point of time in your life, after listening to this video, you might feel that that friend of mine was a narcissist. This happened to me. When I was creating this video, I could recognize that all these traits I found in some or the other people in my lifetime, during my experiences in my lifetime. And I never realized why they are behaving in such a weird way. But in reality, I was dealing with narcissists. And it can cause a huge damage to you. Trust me. Let's move to another topic. What are the signs of narcissism? A very common sign of people with narcissism is that they believe that they are superior to others and they deserve a very special treatment. This is called sense of entitlement. They feel that they are superior to others. They feel that they deserve special treatment, and if they don't get special treatment, they get arrogant, they get frustrated, they get pissed off. Second, manipulative behavior. Narcissism is always a controlling behavior. They want to control everyone around them. They want to control the circumstances. So basically, they don't do it directly. They don't do it instantly. So suppose, for example, if you're meeting a narcissist, they will first try to please you. They will first try to impress you. I'll discuss about this in my love relationships when we come ahead in this video. They will love bomb you. They will gift you like anything, because most of the time, narcissists cannot express their feelings. So they gift you, they pamper you, they love bomb you initially, they impress you. And eventually, when you get impressed by them and start moving along with them, they try to control you. They try to maintain all the control. They may even exploit you to gain something out of you. So this is manipulative behavior. Need for admiration. Always, if the person is a narcissist or have narcissistic tendencies, people with this behavior need validation from outside, and they often brag about their accomplishments or recognition or whatever it is. They also feel like appreciated to boost their ego. These kind of people, very instantly, if you meet them, suppose you are meeting some person who has some sort of narcissistic traits, in the first instant they'll be very sweet. No, I am, yeah. If I say, oh, you are great, you're doing great, you do this, you do that, oh my god, I'm so impressed, they will say, no, I'm just doing my job, I'm very humble, they are just creating a fake bubble, I'm telling you. Because if the person has narcissistic traits, this person requires validation from others because they have lots of insecurities in their subconscious, and they feel they like to be appreciated by others to boost their ego, because they're very insecure in themselves. They don't have any sort of self confidence or self esteem, I must say. They show it to you on the top. You'll feel this is a very confident person I met. So they wear a mask which you cannot understand. And there are a lot of people who are dealing with narcissistic traits, or who are having on their own narcissistic trait, but they don't know about it, because that's so intertwined in their behavior, that's so mixed up in their behavior, that they could not understand that there is something weird about them. Lack of empathy. Narcissists never empathize with anyone. They are the most emotionally detached people. They will leave you crying, they will never look back at you. Emotionally detached people. They don't attach themselves emotionally to anyone. They can't. They don't feel your needs, they don't understand your wants, they don't have feelings for others. And that's why they are unable to take any responsibility for other people, and they don't take their responsibilities, they don't commit to others. They most of the times are into casual connections or friends with benefits kind of relationships, where they get to boost their ego, where others help them to boost their ego by saying very positive things and appreciative things about them. Arrogance. They always feel that they are superior to others. So they become very rude and abusive also. When they especially when they are not treated the way they suppose that they are supposed to be treated, they become very abusive and rude. So these are some of the signs that they feel that they are superior to others. They have manipulative behaviors. They need validation from outside. They lack empathy. They are totally emotionally detached with you, be it they are showing it to you or not. And arrogance. That's also one of the signs. Now come to the topic how to deal with the narcissist. Now suppose you feel that some of these signs are matching to someone you're dealing with, be it in your love connection, be it your parents, be it your friend, your colleague, or anybody, your boss, anybody. How to deal with them. Basically, narcissistic traits can be healed, can be treated with the right counseling, right guidance. But usually narcissists or people with narcissistic traits, they don't accept that they have such kind of traits. That's the issue. So suppose today I have a fever, I'm coughing a lot, and I feel that I have some COVID symptoms, just for an example. And I'm not ready to accept. Everybody's telling me, Pash, go for COVID test. I feel that you have COVID. Pash, go for COVID test. I feel you have COVID. I say, no la, I always cough. Don't do that to me. Huh? Don't every time tell me this. I know what to do. So until and unless I accept that I have COVID, or I have symptoms of COVID, I should go for a test or something like that, I won't be able to do the treatment right. So until I accept my problem, I'm not able to go to a treatment for this, right? So usually they need people with narcissistic traits needs someone to push them for some sort of professional guidance or treatment or something like that. There are a lot of doctors who help into these kind of healings and these kind of treatments. Not spiritual healers, I'll say, because this is basically a medical issue, so it has to be treated by a proper doctor. Now, steps to deal with narcissist. So please don't take it negatively. I'm not saying that you have some serious medical issue. I'm just saying that it's a disorder that needs to be sorted and treated on time. Otherwise, it will affect you on a great level in all spheres of your life, and it's going to spoil all the relationships around you. It will damage everything, be it finances, be it career, be it love life. So steps to deal with a narcissist: first of all, educate yourself about it. If you feel that you are surrounded by any person who is very close to you, be it friend, colleague, lover, parents, educate yourself about it. And I'm doing the same here. I'm trying to educate you about this. That's the purpose of me sitting here in the night. Because while I was creating this video, I could sense, I could feel that I myself have experienced a lot of people like this and never realized that this can be a theory which I missed out on, which is very important for everybody to know. Create boundaries with these kind of people. Always tell, okay, suppose if you feel that your lover is like that, or you feel your husband is like that, just giving an example, or your parents are like that, create boundaries with them. Wherever they are moving to a toxic behavior, just sit and talk, discuss about it. Creating healthy boundaries is very important with a person who is carrying a narcissistic traits. They should know where they are going wrong. They should know where they are crossing their limits. It may upset them, it may disappoint them for a very small period of time because it triggers their arrogance, but that's okay. It's for you, it's not for them. Speak up for yourself. Same thing. When you need something, be clear on it. If you feel that you're stuck into this kind of relationship and you're suffering, speak about it. Speak up for yourself. Watch your wording. So, when you are dealing with a person who is very close to you or not close to you, even a friend also, and you are very worried how to deal with this kind of person or this kind of trait or this kind of disorder, I'll tell you, these people don't take constructive criticism very well. So you have to be very careful in your wordings and comments. If you want to say something to you negative, to them negative, you have to turn it into a positive. You have to be diplomatic in what you're saying. So you have to say the negative things in a positive way. You have to be very careful about your wordings because they can't take criticism so easily. Create a support system. Living with a narcissist or a person who is having a narcissistic traits is not an easy task. You will start feeling low. I told in my last reading also, you start feeling insecure, you start feeling confused, you have self-doubt or self-esteem, your self-esteem goes low, your self-confidence goes low. So make sure you have people close to you, you have a support system who can understand what you're saying. Open to talk. Bring in a counselor. So counselor is very important in these kind of things. Now again, when we talk about counselors, when we talk about doctors, when we talk about medical help, you know your situation well. If you feel that you are dealing with any person who has narcissistic traits and you are accepting their behavior, thinking that it's a very normal behavior, this happens with everyone, no. If you feel it's way beyond something which your intuition is saying that no, this is something which is weird, which I can't take, talk about it to your support people or surrounding you. Create boundaries. Talk about it to the person who you're dealing with. Educate yourself about it and try to bring in the counselor if that's possible for you. They can tell the right approach how to deal with this kind of people, or you can bring that person to counselor based on what sort of situation you're dealing with. I cannot comment on it, but that's very important. That's the way how you can deal with a narcissist. So educate yourself, create boundaries, speak up for yourself, create a support system around you who can hear you, watch your wordings because they don't like criticism, and bring in a counselor. That's very important. Now, the major topic. When I was on my Cambodia trip, I had a session with healing inner childhood wounds, which are created by 95% of times in our childhood by our parents. Before starting this topic, before starting this page, this discussion, signs you have been raised by a narcissist, signs that your parents are narcissist. I'm telling you this, please don't consider that I'm saying that parents are bad in any way or their upbringings are not good or they are narcissistic parents. No. Parents are eternal truth and they are the integral part of our life. They have given birth to us. But again, I always believe that regardless of the labels, brother, sister, father, mother, kid, daughter, son, husband, lover, if we remove the labels, they are normal human beings. And they can do also mistakes. They can also do mistakes. They can also have some narcissistic traits. They can also be selfish sometimes. So as a human being, as an individual soul journey, if we look at them and if we don't label them as mother or father, I think it would be a better way of understanding where we are coming from in our childhood. So sometimes you remove the labels. It's important to do that. It's not always necessary because they are also human beings. At some point of time, when they were raising you up, they might have done a lot of mistakes. They might have uh, shown some sort of narcissistic traits. That's possible, and that's absolutely okay. But because of that, what you are facing in your adulthood is a big issue. So let's talk about it. Take it positively. A narcissistic parent is a self-centered or self-absorbed parent with an inflated self-image, and they think that they are better than others. So I'm sure a lot of people might be resonating with this, whose parents are very self-absorbed, self-centered. They think that they are right, their kids are always wrong. I also have a daughter. I also guide them in the right way. I also don't want them to fall into something wrong, or if they do something wrong, I always guide them. I'm not talking about that kind of guidance. I'm talking about when you don't give that space to your child to speak up. I have discussed this in my healing video, healing inner childhood wounds. Anyways, we don't go to that now. So they often disregard other people's needs and concerns. So basically, when you were a child, they might have not listened to you. They might have not paid attention to you. They might always been so self-absorbed. I am right, you are wrong. That kind of concept, which nowadays parents are slowly understanding, and the parenting things are changing. The parenting patterns are changing. So most of the cases, severe cases especially, narcissistic traits and disorders come from childhood because their parents have been narcissist or have some narcissistic traits. Signs, how to understand if my parents were narcissistic or not, or they were having some narcissistic traits or not. Again, remove labels. If you think I'm talking about your mother or father, please don't think that way. I'm talking about my parents also. Everybody's parents, everybody has parents, right? So we are talking in that way, wherein we are just removing the labels at this point of time when we are hearing this video, and we are just thinking and taking them as human beings. They are on this universe. They have their own individual soul journey. They have their own karma. They have complete different path, each one of them. Okay. So the first sign that you can say that your parents have been narcissists, their love has always been conditional to you. If you do this, I would do that for you. I am today taking care of your needs. Tomorrow you will take care of my needs. You always felt unloved around them. If you did some things right also, they always told you that you are not right. Some sort of abusive behavior with children. So conditional love always affects self-esteem and your emotional needs as a child. So they boost their self-esteem by saying wrong to you, wrong to the children. It's not in every case. I'm talking about only narcissistic parents. So their love was unconditional. Their love was conditional. That can be one of the signs. They always thought about themselves. They always asked for something in return for their love. It was always about them. So narcissistic parents, around them, you always, as a child, you always felt unheard, unseen, and invisible growing up. Even around when it's your birthday, or when it's your graduation ceremony, or something big is happening in your life, your parents always try to be the center of attraction. Please take what resonates, please leave what doesn't. This is a general video. It may resonate with you, it might not. If you feel it's not resonating with you and it's triggering you in some way or the other, please don't listen to this video. It's always about them. You didn't know what was real, what you imagined. So this is also the third point where I have jotted down that this is a sign. So what is the sign is that narcissistic parents always makes the child doubt about themselves. Suppose, example, you're coming and saying to your parents, in my school, some kid is troubling me. They always pay no attention to you and say, you always tell Liza, don't tell me this every time that some kid is troubling you. You might also have troubled them in some way or the other. Example. You might have not listened to your child, what he or she is trying to say. So you didn't know what is real and what you imagine. So maybe you start thinking at that point of time, maybe I am imagining that that kid is troubling me. Maybe there is my fault somewhere. Narcissistic trait. Narcissistic parents' upbringing. You weren't allowed to state your feelings or needs. This is the biggest issue. In your childhood, when you are raised up by a narcissistic parent, be it your father or mother, you might have not been allowed to share your feelings. And because of that, sometimes you struggle in identifying your own feelings in your adulthood. You are so used to of suppressing your emotions and wants and needs that in your adulthood you are unable to take any decisions in your life. You are always confused. You always find a hard time in making commitments, taking decisions for yourself, because you weren't allowed to state your feelings and needs in the childhood. So this is also one of the signs that you are raised by a narcissistic parent. Fifth point. If you are raised by a narcissistic parent, you might have heard them exhibiting some sort of relational behaviors or irrational behaviors, like talking poorly about people or relatives or their own brothers and sisters, taking advantage or using other people for their own needs, becoming jealous of their own family or parents, becoming jealous of their own family, sister, brothers, and everybody, guilting and manipulating other people in different ways. So if you have seen your parents doing all this, feeling jealous about other people or family or friends or anybody, using people, so this kind of toxic behavior you witnessed, that's also a sign that you have upbringing from a narcissistic parent. Again, you worry a lot about displeasing them. You don't have the courage to go against them. You don't want to displease them, because you have always might lived in a fear that I should do whatever they are saying, I should take the responsibility, I should not displease them in any way. That's also a sign that you have been raised by a narcissistic parent. That can be a sign. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Their reputation was your responsibility. This is also one of the signs. You always found yourself being suppressed or pushed as if their reputation is your responsibility. Don't marry out of caste. We have a repo in our society. Don't talk to this people, this person, this friend. We have a society. We have a reputation in the society. So they don't allow their children to live freely because they put a pressure on them, because they need validation and recognition from the society that they have a reputation. So usually in your childhood, if you are raised by a narcissistic parent, you have always been punished severely if you have done something which embarrass your parents in a very small way. Say, it can be related to caste, it can be related to anything. It can be related to dressing sense. Very simple example, that your parents, if they want you to dress up in a certain way and you are dressing up in some other way, so you have always been scolded, you have always been punished about that, because they believe that your dressing sense can damage their repo in the society. That's also one of the signs of a narcissistic parent. Next, they expected you to agree with them always. So narcissistic parent is a parent who have always been, you have always been asked to agree with them, even if they are saying right, even if they are saying wrong, even in your adulthood, even in your childhood. They have very fragile egos. Even if your ideas are different, beliefs are different, you can't deny them. You cannot make your own choices. You have to agree with them. Be it your marriage, be it your love affair, be it your job, be it your career. This is also a sign of a narcissistic parent. And they, if you go and again, one more sign last I'm talking about, they did no wrong. So that means if you go back to them and say that in childhood you raised me like this, and because of this today in adulthood I'm facing all this, they will never ever accept. They will say I did nothing wrong. They deny their mistakes. They will never acknowledge that they have done something or they have some sort of shortcomings as a parent. So I will fast repeat the signs. Their love was unconditional. Their love was conditional. It was always about them. You didn't know what was real and what you imagined, because they always tell that you are wrong. You weren't allowed to state your feelings and needs. You witnessed their victims talking shit about other people. Sorry, I'm using this word. And using people. You worried a lot about displeasing them. Their reputation was your responsibility always. They expected you to always agree with them, and they did no wrong. They always say that. So these are the signs which shows that you are raised by a narcissist. Now what comes next? If you are raised by narcissistic parents, how can it affect you? What are the long-term effects on you, and how it can affect all fields of your life? Let me tell you that. So if you feel that these are the characteristics of your raising up or your parents in any way, shape or form, see the effects what's going to happen. First effect, low self-esteem, shame, trust issues in relationship and insecurities. I told you, most of the kids who have been raised by narcissistic parents carry narcissistic traits in themselves, and they will face all these issues. Low self-esteem, they will feel shame, they have lots of insecurities, be it they show you or cover behind the mask, and they have trust issues in the relationship. They don't trust people easily. Second, they have high self-doubt about themselves because their parents never were confident on themselves, on them. Needing the validation of other people, how they look, how they feel, how they're doing in their life or career or relationships. They always need validation from others, from outside, because their self-esteem and self-confidence is lowest. Codependent and caretaking patterns in relationships. Basically, they always get into codependent relationships where they initially were very sweet and then slowly they start showing their true colors, the narcissistic traits. They have perfectionist or self-destructive tendencies. Self-sabotaging also, we can say. So whenever something, for example, we are talking about love connection. So in your adulthood, some true love is coming towards you. They self-sabotage themselves. They don't want to get into real relationships because that scares the shit out of them. So perfectionist, they want to be perfectionists because nobody told them that they are perfect from their childhood. Or self-sabotaging tendencies also they have. Trouble standing up for themselves. They have trouble standing up for themselves. They never ever can stand them. I think till today, if you are talking about narcissistic traits in someone, they till today cannot stand in front of their parents and say something. Difficulty in identifying or feeling or expressing of the feelings. They can't identify. They are always confused about their feelings. If I love them or if I don't. If I should marry them or if I don't. If I commit to them or if I don't. Confused. And expressing feelings, poor. They can't express their feelings. They don't have so much of confidence to express that. Trouble being independent of parents, not feeling like you developed a strong identity. So most of the times, person with a narcissistic trait either stays with their parents or always somehow they don't feel that they have a strong identity without their parents. That's called codependency also in some way. They always get into unhealthy, toxic, short-term relationship, most of the time casual sex, or toxic traits like smoking, drinking, gambling. So unhealthy and toxic adult relationships they get into. Symptoms of mental health and substance use disorder. Substance use disorder, I said same thing. Drinking, smoking. And they show symptoms of mental health. Sometimes they are so high, sometimes they are so low. Sometimes they talk a lot, sometimes they don't talk. Sometimes they want to commit, sometimes they don't want to commit. Sometimes they love you, sometimes they say they don't love you. Confusing, right? And believe me, if you're dealing with such kind of person, tough. Let's move to next topic. These are the effects of being with a of being raised by a narcissistic parent. Now, how to heal? Now the question comes, okay Pash, you told me that I'm raised by a narcissistic parents. I agree, I'm matching to most of the traits. Now you told me that there are effects also, and I agree that I have some of these effects on me. Now Pash, please tell me how to heal this. Okay, so let's move on to this. How to heal from narcissistic parents. It has been a difficult journey, and now it's time to take the first step of healing of your childhood trauma. So this comes under healing of your childhood wound or trauma, because this personality disorder, narcissism, is some sort of childhood wound, and we know that until now. So first of all, recognize it, that it is a narcissism, or the person you're dealing with is a narcissist or has some narcissistic tendencies. Especially your parents we are talking about here, because we are talking about narcissistic parents. So recognize that your parents are narcissistic, removing the labels, mother, father, remove those labels. Think of them as a human being. Set healthy boundaries with them. Wherever they are trying to manipulate, again, I am not trying to say that your parents manipulate you. They will never ever do that to their kids. Nobody, in fact, including me, I never do some sort of manipulation for my kid, or think of in my dreams also to do this. But we are human beings, we do mistakes. So if you feel that there is some sort of manipulation or toxicity coming from your life, set healthy boundaries with narcissistic parents. I want to give an example here, holding this reading. Most of the people, especially in India, my friends, very close friends of mine, got into divorce, got into breaking relationship because of their parents. Because usually in India, the boy's parents listen to their parents, and the girl who comes from another house is not treated well or poorly treated. Most of the cases we see. And there are a lot of clashes because of the parents, and parents always want the boys dragged from both the sides. I think this happens in most of the cultures, I'm not too sure. So this is also, narcissistic parent never want their child to be happy. They always think about themselves first. As a human being, they are selfish. They think about themselves. They're not thinking about the child. They are thinking about themselves. And I'm not saying that they are wrong. I'm saying that it's just they are a human being. They have all those traits, negative or positive, in them. So set healthy boundaries with them. Wherever you feel this decision is not right for you, please don't listen to them. Stand up for yourself always. Build your support network. Always build support network. Always stay connected with people who are suffering the same things, managing the same thing. They can help you out with that. Friends or whosoever you are feeling comfortable with. Regularly exercise. Physical health is very important. I always say that. If you feel physically fit and healthy, it's easier for you to deal with these kind of disorders. Meditations help you to spiritually grow, and they make you soulfully strong. Also helps you to deal with narcissistic parents or narcissistic traits. Do not try to change them. Most of the people I have seen. In fact, when I was creating this video, I could remember one instance that one of my friends who was trying to change their narcissistic parents' tendencies. I will tell my mom she's doing this wrong. I'll tell my mom why she don't want me to be happy. Why she doesn't like the girl who I like. We are in this world. We are so emotionally connected to our parents, our family, our brother, sister, our cousins, that sometimes we don't realize that we are getting manipulated in some way or the other by them. We feel that, oh, she's my mother, he's my father, he's going to think always good for me. Yes, that's true, absolutely correct. But think removing the labels. As a human being, they are still human being. They can be selfish sometimes. They can think of themselves sometimes. They can do some sort of toxic, they can show some sort of toxic patterns. At last, they are human beings. So do not try to change them. They are not going to. Especially if they are old age, there is no chance. Do not try to get an apology. Again, if you are expecting your parents will apologize for something, for destructing your life or creating some sort of destruction in your life or spoiling your career or something like that, don't expect. They are not going to even accept that they have done something like this. They will start showing you the emotional. Okay, I think I'm being too rude, and all the parents are going to. No, I'm just telling what I have seen and what I have experienced and what other people are experiencing. Straight from the heart, no filters. Getting professional help. So if you feel that your parents are too much and you are unable to handle them, you don't have the courage and you don't have the, you can't stand by them. So talk to some friends or take some professional help, how to deal with them. Or maybe you can take a break, cut off for some time, connect with them for a limited amount of time, and just because you can't make them understand. It's very difficult. So you have to change your ways. Neither you have to change their ways. They can't change their ways. You have to change their ways of dealing with them and creating healthy boundaries so that they should not get into those things. They should be clear, okay, this is his decision or her decision she is going to take or he is going to take. We are not supposed to affect that. Let's move on to another topic. Not topic, another. My favorite. How narcissism affects our love life. Very, very important. And destructive. I'm telling you. How narcissism affects our love life, and why I'm saying this, because I have taken a couple of sessions from India where youngsters are falling into this trap. So this is a very crucial topic. Okay, so to start with, a narcissistic partner, if you have, be it your love partner, be it your husband, be it your boyfriend, a narcissistic partner is most likely to engage in manipulative game-playing behaviors, less likely to be committed long-term. So if you have a boyfriend or a lover who is not committing to you, or less likely to be committing to you and playing mind games with you, or you feel that they are manipulative in some other way, there is a high chance that they have some narcissistic traits. Please be careful and watch. Let me give you some examples. Usually, love partners or boyfriends who are with this kind of traits, they play with your mind. First example I'm giving you. If you feel that your boyfriend or your lover, when you met them, they love bombed you. They never express their feelings by their words, but they have love bombed you with gifts, parties, travel, and they show that they love you a lot. They show that they care for you a lot. They made a lot of promises to you also. I will do this for you, I will do that for you. But they never, that was never shown in their actions. And they are playing mind games with you. Love bombing you and then suddenly detaching from you. This I have discussed in one of my more video. I've completely missed out on which video I discussed this. This is a narcissistic trait. If they are doing this to you, be very careful and watch and take a step back. Person with a narcissistic trait have higher chances that they have been raised with a narcissistic parent. And if not, still they have some narcissistic traits. So be careful. If they love bomb you, they say you are the love of my life, or they never said but they They shower you with gifts and everything, but they have no plans of long-term commitment. They are less likely to do that. They are only into casual connection, casual sex. And they love bomb you, example. That's what I'm trying to say. And they detach themselves suddenly. And now they are not responding to your messages for hours, for days, for months. You're messaging them, where are you? Why are you not responding? Is everything okay with you? Is your family okay? Why you suddenly left? What happened? What happened? What happened? You're getting crazy about it and they are not responding. You know why? Because they have this narcissistic trait. They will detach from you. Now you will chase them. And by your chasing, what will happen? You will boost their ego. They will get an external validation that they are supreme power. They are the one. They look good, they feel good, they do everything good, they have a high status. But in reality, behind the mask, this person is the most insecure person. Zero confidence. And by you chasing them, their ego is getting boosted. I always tell, if someone loves you, they will never leave a chance for you to chase. They will always do anything for you and come to you. They will fight for you. And if you have to chase for them, I think you can understand very well where I'm coming from. And this I have told in my session to someone I remember very clearly, who has asked me this question. I told, please don't chase. This mistake don't do. If you chase, you are boosting their ego. This is what they want because they are insecure. They have no confidence and you are doing that for them. And once you start chasing them, they will pay no attention to you. And if you start asking them questions, they'll get pissed off, frustrated, irritated. Because they have no emotional connection with you. They are completely emotionally detached because they have narcissistic traits. They don't feel what you're feeling. They leave you crying like hell. Leave them. Think about you. What will happen to you? I'm talking about the youngsters. What will happen to you? You will leave with no self-confidence. You will left with no self-confidence, zero self-esteem, drama, emotional manipulation, depression, feeling shit about yourself, that you are being ditched by such nonsense. Sorry I'm using these kind of words, but this is the truth. If any of these traits, what I'm saying, is matching to you, please be very careful. There's a red flag. If someone loves you, they will never let you go. If someone loves you, they'll fight for you. If someone loves you, they will never ever give you a chance to chase them. They will always make you feel special. They will always stand by you. They will listen to you. They will understand where you're coming from. They will always be emotionally connected to you, and what you're feeling, they will also feel. So stop consoling yourself and saying that there might be some problem with this person. This person is aggressive, his nature is like that. No. No. So don't boost their ego by chasing them, because they will leave you with nothing. They will just take all your energy and boost their ego. And once you are left with nothing, they will move to some other partner or some other casual connection or some other casual sex or something like that, which again will start boosting their ego. Again they will repeat the same cycle with different people. They will love bomb, they will detach, they will move to another connection. They will love bomb, they will detach, boost their ego, get external validation that they are superior, they look good, they are that, this and they are that, and they leave. And you will feel that you have something issue. You have some issue within you. You don't look good. You don't have that something, I don't know, but I'm really into it now. So let's move on. A relationship with a narcissist can be hard to cope with. That's what I'm telling you. It will leave you with nothing but a suppressed or a depressed emotion. And for some people, it takes years for them to come out of this shit. Please don't do that to yourself. To a narcissist, love is an external source of validation used to boost their self-esteem. That's what I'm telling you. Love is an external source of validation for them, that they look good, they feel good. They do not understand real love. If real love comes in on their face, they will self-sabotage it. They will run away. They don't know what is reciprocity. They don't know what is give and take. They only take from you. This is a narcissistic trait. They don't know how to give. At the time of giving, they will run away to some other connection to take. Because they are charismatic. Because they are charming. Always narcissistic traits, people have these traits also. The physical traits. So don't be don't be in this delusion. They believe that love is something they can obtain from a person and use to feel better for themselves. They do it, trust me. Now what happens when a narcissist, now if you ask me, I have written all these sequences which I have dealt in my sessions. Someone asked me then, if my person is narcissist or narcissistic, can he ever fall in true love with me? This was the question asked to me. I have answered this question here. They become obsessed with being adored and admired by their partners. They may shower them with compliments and gifts and manipulate them with grand gestures and affection. So when a person with a narcissistic trait really fall in love, what they do? They become obsessed. Suppose someone is dealing with a narcissistic partner and narcissistic partner is also a human being. They got some feelings for someone. What they will do? They will be obsessed about you. They will obsessively chase you, or try not if chase you, because they have a lot of ego issues also. Not chase you, they will obsessively ghost you. And slowly, when they convince you that they are in true love with you, again they come to the same issue. They want you to adore them. They want you to admire them every time. They may shower you with compliments. They will also give you compliments. They will also give you gifts. They will show grand gestures of affection. But they will always expect in return that you will admire them. You will adore them. Because without that, their ego and their self-confidence and their self-esteem will go zero. Because now they don't have any casual connection. Now they are into real love. So their real love is also masked. Okay. The bond is unlikely to be deep and long-lasting, as rather than forming a deep emotional bond, narcissists become attached to the idea of love and attempt to recreate the feeling of admiration. So this is, I'm talking to all those people who feel that they are dealing with a narcissistic trait, or they feel that they are narcissists themselves. I'm giving a big statement, but I'm not too sure if anybody who feels that these traits are in them. You need help, guys or girls. Okay, so the answer to this question is whether they can fall in love or not. They can never ever fall in deep and long lasting relationship unless they get treated, or they are at a very low narcissistic trait level where they are showing very less traits of being narcissist. I will tell you what is the difference between narcissist versus narcissistic traits. So rather than forming a deep emotional bond with their partner, they fantasize. They attach themselves to the idea of love. They attempt to recreate a feeling where they are beginning a relationship and their partner is admiring them and telling them, you are the one I love you so much, there is no one else in my life who I love so much. Their ego boosts up. So for them, the concept of love is a fantasy. It has nothing to do with your feelings or deep or long lasting bond. Now, the last point which I was saying, remember that not everyone who displays narcissistic traits has a disorder. So there is a difference between person who is a narcissist and person who is carrying a narcissistic trait. I'll give you an example how we can differentiate. So a person with a narcissistic trait is occasionally selfish, and a person who is a narcissist is always selfish. So you can differentiate by this. Okay, what's the intensity of the narcissism? Here we are discussing about that. So person who is a pure narcissist will always talk selfish. Person with some sort of narcissistic traits will talk sometimes selfish, will think about your feelings also sometimes. They switch in and out, in and out. Exhibiting manipulative behaviors sporadically, can show empathy, able to form deep bonds. So basically the person who is with narcissistic traits still show sometimes empathy, that's what I told you. And they also sometimes form deep bonds. But a narcissist who is into a disorder, they really need help and treatment, medical treatment. Now, a person with narcissistic traits can still be healed by some sort of counseling and right guidance. They might need help, medical help or not, that depends on the intensity of their narcissistic traits. So there are two types of narcissists we are differentiating here. So you can understand which one is your lover or boyfriend. So if they are switching between loving you and being selfish, they are switching between, you feel sometimes they make deep bonds with you, but sometimes they don't, sometimes they back out. There is a possibility that they have some narcissistic traits which they need to heal, which they need to work on, and which they need to get counseling on. Let's move to next. Now, let's talk about this. Signs of a narcissistic partner. We discussed what happens if narcissistic partner comes in our life. How they love bomb you, how they detach from you and all that stuff. Now we talked about signs of narcissistic partner. First, which I told you, they are very, very charming at first. When you meet them, you feel like a love bubble, a fairy tale. They will compliment you constantly. Within the first month, you feel he or she is the right person for me. Fairy tale, simply. Very, very charming, very, very charismatic. Mind my words. Second sign, they hog the conversation talking about how great they are. So they always talk about themselves. See, loving yourself, talking about yourself, and bragging about yourself, there is a difference. So usually narcissistic partner, they always say how great they are, how their office colleagues respect them, how their surrounding people respect them, their friends respect them, and what all achievements they have done. They always talk about that. They don't want to listen to you. They feed off your compliments. I'm telling you, their ego needs a lot of praise, a lot of compliment. Be it on their face, be it they are showing they're very humble. They don't need it, but they badly need it. I'm telling you, they survive, they live on this. They lack empathy. As I told you, they are emotionally detached. They are not attached to anybody with their feelings. They just use people for their ego boosting and then leave them and move to other connection. They don't have any long-term friends or many long-term friends. So as this person is very selfish, or narcissistic trait, person is selfish and usually they think about themselves most of the time, use people. They don't have many long-term friends or no long-term friends. Very surrounded by very less people who boost their ego, and that too keeps on changing constantly. They pick up on you constantly. One more trait which I have myself heard in a session. If you are dealing with a narcissistic partner, first is the bubble phase, fairy tale phase, then comes a phase where they start teasing you, which looks like teasing initially, but suddenly they become very mean to you. Everything you do, from whatever you wear, eat, hang out, whatever you watch, or whatever it is, TV or something like that, they have a problem with that. So they start feeling jealous of you, jealous of your progress, jealous of your life, jealous of your style. They suddenly start feeling competitive, and that's why they start from teasing you. Later on, this teasing becomes mean and mean and mean, and you feel, what is happening to my person? Why he is doing this to me? Why he is becoming so mean to me? Because he is not your person, baby, or she is not your person. She will leave you one day and go to some other connection. So anyways, this is the truth and reality I'm talking about. Okay, so they pick on you constantly, means they'll start teasing you, and then it moves to from teasing to abuse. Sorry, teasing to being mean. They gaslight you. What is gaslight? It's a form of manipulation, you know. It's an emotional abuse, we say. It's a hallmark trait of a narcissist or a narcissistic person, or person who is carrying a narcissistic trait. They always falsely accuse you. They blame you for everything. They always spin the truth. Suppose, example, solid example, it's coming to my mind. Suppose you asked, because usually narcissistic traits, if someone is carrying, they are in and out of the relationship always, and they want you to chase, and they block you, then block you, they block you, then block you, they ghost you. They want you to chase them in messages and all, and they don't reply. They just want to watch the message and just ignore for days and months and years and whatever it is. So if you ask them, did you block me? What are you talking about? Is it? I don't know. I don't use Instagram, I don't use Facebook. What are you talking about? Spinning the truth. Or suddenly they'll say, you have blocked me, not me. You have. So they blame you. This is a hallmark of narcissism. This is a form of you understand or not, it's an emotional abuse and manipulation, you know. When you know some person is doing something in your face and not agreeing to it, not accepting to it, and behaving as if they don't know anything about it. What the world you have asked them? A question which they don't know. What is Instagram? What is Facebook? What is WhatsApp? What are you talking about? Oh my God. I never did this to you. How can I do this to you? And you will be shocked. I'm sorry for this overacting, but yeah, I'm telling you what you can face, or you might be facing. I'm not too sure. They gaslight you. The next is they think that they are right about everything and never apologize. I'm telling you, if you get an apology from a person, 100% they are not a narcissist. Or if they have some sort of narcissistic traits, when they are switching, they have very low narcissistic traits, low level of narcissistic traits, they might switch and say sorry, that too also not directly but indirectly. So they never accept that they have done something wrong. As I told you, if you ask them, you have blocked me? No. Let me give you proofs. Are you dating someone else? No. What are you talking about? When you show them you are really done, they lash out. So when you walk away, which is the right thing to do, which is the best thing to do, when you walk away or you show that you are not interested in them, they will lash out. Because now you are not chasing, now you are not boosting their ego. Now they feel, how can someone be not interested in me? That's troubling me. So they suddenly might call you or lash out, or they might feel frustrated. So these are all the signs of narcissistic trait. I'll repeat once again. They are charming and charismatic at first. They always talk about how great they are. They feed off your compliments. They lack empathy. They don't have many or any long-term friends. They pick on you constantly and tease you and then become mean to you. They gaslight you. They are jealous of you. They are competitive of you. They spin the truth with you. They think they are right about everything and never apologize. And when you show them that you are really done or walking away, they lash out at you. Let's move, because I'm already done with 1 hour 15 minutes. I think I have to create 2 parts of this video, part 1 and part 2. Okay. So we are almost at the end of this topic. So I have written it, what I felt. So you cannot change a person with this kind of disorder. They need medical help, they need treatment. But if you're dealing with someone who has some sort of narcissistic traits at a lower side, you can still educate yourself about it and try to heal. Or if you are very closely connected or you are bonded, or then in that case you need to refer them to some treatment or some sort of counseling, convince them. I don't know, it's very hard for someone to convince someone for a treatment which they don't agree to, that they are a narcissist or have some narcissistic tendencies. But you can't make them happy by loving them enough or by changing yourself to meet their desires. It's not going to work out. I'm telling you, don't do that to yourself. You will just drain your energy, end up in a depression or end up in a bad state. They will never be in tune with you. They will never be empathetic towards you. They will never ask you, are you back from work, how you're feeling? Are you tired? If you call them up and say that you are in trouble and you're emotionally breaking down, they will behave as if they don't know you. They are a stranger. That's because they have never been emotionally connected to you. And you were mad about them. I mean, you were crazy about them in love. And they were never emotionally attached to you. They have always been emotionally detached so that they can boost their ego. Narcissists can't feel fulfilled in relationship or in any areas of their life. This is also one of the issue. If you're dealing with a narcissist, they never be fulfilled in their relationships, they never be fulfilled in their finances, in their career. They always feel that something is lacking in their life. You will never be enough for them. So I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to give any solutions to anyone based on your scenario, based on your situation, based on your condition, who you are dealing with, how you are dealing with. Are you having some narcissistic parental background or something like that? I'm not too sure. Or some of your partner or lover has it. I don't know. But take a step back, guys or girls. It's really damaging. It can damage to your level, you to a level from where you cannot come back. It's not easy. It's extreme emotional manipulation, leaving your self-esteem, self-confidence to zero, and you'll feel shattered from inside. So don't do that to yourself. Take a step back, whatever your situation is. If you feel it's too much and you're dealing with a person who is highly into this kind of disorder and not ready to treat themselves or take a medical help or counseling help, cut off your ties with them. I'm telling you. You can't be enough for them. You can't make them happy by loving them and investing all your energy into them. No second chances, no explanations. They might come back to you. But don't think it's true love. You will get into the same cycle with them again until they get themselves treated for it and they accept that they have these kind of issues. Take some steps which you feel right for you. I'm nobody to say what is right and what is wrong. Now, how can you heal yourself from a partner, narcissistic partner or partner with a narcissistic tendency. We read how we can heal from narcissistic parents. Now we are here to understand, Pash, now I am with a narcissistic partner. What should I do? Pash is saying, check your situation, think carefully, take a step back, take some time out for yourself, and think how important this connection is for you, and what you will lose if you lose the connection, and what you will lose if you stay in the connection. Check the pros and cons. Or I'm giving you the healing or phase 2, heal yourself. So in my last also I said, last PPT or last slide, that to heal from your parents who are narcissistic, educate yourself about that. That's very important, to educate yourself. Go to Google, there are multiple articles on it by doctors, psychologists, how to deal with this kind of disorder or with this kind of people. Build up your self-esteem. Self-love is very important. If you don't love yourself, you will fall into a pit of emotional abuse very fast. Build your self-esteem, love yourself, speak up for yourself, set very clear boundaries. This is what I don't want, this is what I want, this is what I don't like, this is what I like. So very clear and healthy boundaries, be it your parents or be it your lover or partner. Find a support system for yourself. So it's about you, it's not about them. They are anyway suffering with a disorder, be it they accept it or not, be it they want to get treated for it or not, be it they take some counseling or help or not. It's about you, how you can heal yourself, how you can come out of it. It's up to you again, but I'm here just to tell you what all you can do, right? Find a support system for yourself, talk to people about it so that they can help you, who are close to you, who know you. Insist on immediate action, not promises. If your partner you feel has a narcissistic trait, always try insisting them on taking actions, not fake promises. If they say, no, I love you, you can't leave me like this and all that stuff, tell them to show in actions. Don't talk about fake promises. Because usually narcissistic traits person cannot take actions. They can just understand that a narcissistic person may need professional help. Understand this. Your love and your efforts cannot change a narcissistic traits person or a disorder. You need to have a professional help. If they get convinced, fine, else you're going to end up in a shit, I'm telling you. Recognize when you need help and when to move on. And when you feel that, Pash, my person is not understanding, but I know that there are some narcissistic traits that I'm dealing with. So discuss when you need help with your friends, with your family, with your close one, with your loved ones, and take a decision for yourself when to move on, when to step back. Else you will end up with nothing, with a shattered ego. Not a shattered ego, what I'm saying, with a shattered emotional state, depressed, lonely, with zero self-confidence, zero esteem, not feeling like getting up also. This is what you feel internally. Ditched by someone who is emotionally detached from you and you were going crazy about them. So yes, this is the end of this topic. We are already on 1 hour 23 minutes and it's 12:30 in Singapore, 12:30 in the night. So this is what I wanted to share. This was planted in my head, in my dream. A month back also I was thinking about it when I was doing a reading. When I had my sessions, I was having this in my mind that yes, there is something called narcissism, but I was not too much into it. But when I started creating this video day before yesterday, and slowly I moved into different signs and healing process and all that, I understand that in our usual lives we meet a lot of people who are narcissistic or who carry narcissistic traits, including our parents, and we don't know how it's affecting us. And we feel that this is a normal behavior, we feel that this is a normal reaction if my lover is treating me like this, if my boyfriend is treating me like this, if my husband is treating me like this, if my parents are treating me like this, it's fine. It's their nature. No, it will damage you from inside. Take help, take professional help. If you can't discuss this with anyone, take professional help. This is an era of internet. It's called Kalyug. Era of Aquarius. Era of internet. Era of technology. Use this technology wisely and positively. You can go online. There is no shame, no reason to hide any feeling of depression, feeling of low, or feeling of being manipulated, or feeling of being into a narcissistic kind of a relationship. You should always seek professional help and medical help wherever required. Because divine has sent you on this journey in universe to live your own. See, I always say, whatever contracts you are here, be it marriage, be it brother, be it sister, all these contracts you have made here, divine has given you a birth alone, and you are going to go alone only. You are on a solo journey. Think about yourself first. Mask yourself first. Love yourself first. It's about you first. Then think about others. If you are in a healthy state physically, mentally, then only you will be able to help others physically or mentally. And if you are dealing with any such love connection, coming back to one more topic which I discussed in yesterday, if you feel that you have a soul bond or soul connection like twin flames or soulmate, and if you feel that certain person you felt a soul bond or a soulmate connection or a twin flame connection, and you are same soul in two bodies, and if you feel that they have some sort of narcissistic traits or tendencies, don't ignore these red flags. Don't think that divine has sent you, your same soul and different bodies, divine has sent you on this journey to have some soul mission. You're forgetting something, that your twin flame is incarnated into some other body. Your soul is incarnated, part of your soul is incarnated in some other body, and they have some sort of other upbringing, different upbringing from you. They might be having an upbringing of a narcissistic parent, and that's why they are carrying these traits. So whatever is their conditioning that has happened in their, we call it as conditioning. So conditioning that has happened in their childhood, you can't control it. And you can't be with a person who is emotionally manipulative or who is having some sort of narcissistic traits. You have to detach yourself. You have to work on your own self and your own journey and healing your own self and balancing your own energies. This person, if they are here for a soul mission with you and they are your twin flame, divine will automatically help them, because it's a divine connection. But you being a part of this connection, you being chasing in this connection, you being the person who wants to heal them, no, you can't help them and heal them. I always say that. You can't heal your twin flame and help them and tell them that you have some narcissistic traits, you need to go for some treatment. No, you can't do that. They will say to you on your face, are you kidding me? What bullshit you are talking about me? Non-acceptance. This is how world runs. Nobody accepts what issues they are facing, and that's the reason nobody goes for a treatment, nobody goes for a right solution or healing. Until you accept that you are facing some issue, how will you heal yourself? So even if it is a soulmate, twin flame, soul connection, soul bond, whatever you want to call it, always count on the red flags. Yes, it's a divine connection, let divine handle it. You are not supposed to be into any connection which is emotionally draining, emotionally manipulative, which is in and out, which is confusing. And always remember one thing: establishing boundaries with your parents, with your kids, with your husband, with your family, with your lover is very, very important. Be clear on what you can, what you cannot, what you can do, what you cannot, what you can tolerate, what you cannot. That will help you in every stream of your life, be it your boss or colleagues as well. And especially in love connections, if someone loves you, they will fight for you. They always want to be with you. They always understand small emotional thing also about you, and they will care for you. And if there is someone who you feel is your twin flame or soulmate, and still they don't care about you, they don't care what is happening to you, even if you have cried in front of them, you have done everything to make them understand, and still they are just sitting not fighting for you, that itself shows that this is not love. So open your eyes. Especially the youngsters who are facing these issues and these, focus on yourself. Focus on yourself, focus on your career, focus on your dreams, focus on your goals. Those who love you will always be with you. Everybody has their own journey. I'm feeling very sleepy. Okay, it's a very, very serious topic. I hope I tried to take it lightly. I tried to make it incorporated with my own experiences, with my session experiences, and I tried to give a message that yes, seek help, seek advice, seek counseling. If you feel you are into some sort of such connection, or if you are being raised by a narcissistic parent, it's an inner childhood wound. You need to heal that. And if you want to see my video on inner childhood healing, you can go back to my YouTube channel, Narcissistic Therapy by Apash. You can watch that reading there, or that healing video there. So I'll be sharing this video in two parts, part 1 and part 2. And please, it's a request, it's a humble request from me. I'm creating this video in the midnight here, just so that it could reach to maximum people, and maximum people could hear it, could understand it. And even if one person is healed by it, or understand it, or helps, this video helps them out. That's the purpose of this video. That's the only purpose of this video. To help you heal, to help you guide, to help you on being on the right path. So please like, share, comment, forward this video to all those who are close to you, nearby to you, your friends, your family who needs this. And ask them to follow my YouTube channel, Narcissistic Therapy by Apash, my Facebook, Instagram page, Narcissistic Therapy by Apash. I'll be creating more videos as soon as Divine plants it in my head in the night. So I get a lot of downloads in the night, I get a lot of ideas in the night. So night time is the time where Divine plants a lot of things in my head. So I start working in the morning on that. So that's how this video has come up. I was literally pushing myself that I promised you guys that I will be doing this video today or tomorrow, and I finished it off. So I'm very happy. Thank you for listening to this video, and I hope it helps each and every one of you in some way or the other in your different streams of life. Take care, love and light, good night, keep smiling, keep spreading positive vibe, and love yourself always first.